Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Top 5 Films That. This is the first full episode of 2024. So just saying hello to Dominic.
Hello, Happy New Year everyone.
And hello to Matthew.
Hello, Happy New 2024.
And I'm Jeremy, and for those of you who haven't listened to us before, we are three brothers who just like going through random top fives that we created, and that's what we're going to do again today. So being the first full episode of 2024, are we all doing okay? We've settled into the year well?
Think so?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Hasn't really started yet,
Not
actually. No.
Not much changed, but yeah.
Yeah.
No miserable weather and
yeah.
heading into winter. Beautiful start.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as always, I'm just going to give us a little pat on the back because, as I said, we are step by step trying to approach world domination.
Nice.
And there's a little pat on the back because we got France.
Winners.
Nice.
Yeah, two
Winners.
downloads in France since the last time. Who knows? They haven't been in touch.
We don't know.
No.
Don't know.
So I'm going to open up different avenues here because we're on mainland Europe.
Good.
Okay.
So I could continue that. But first of all, we haven't hit our target of Ireland yet. We have Northern Ireland, but not Ireland.
Right.
Okay.
So Ireland is still available if anyone wants to lay claim to downloading in Ireland and listening to us.
You'll be the first.
And I've then decided that going on from France, been looking at the maps,
Right.
I'm going to open it up to Belgium or Luxembourg. And I feel like Luxembourg's a bit of a stretch, but we'll see how we do.
I think Belgium
Small population.
We
Belgium,
can move to
yeah.
Belgium.
Yeah, we are pretty popular in that area in terms of we're France, we're Netherlands, we're Germany, Switzerland. We're getting that way, but
That's good.
just got a few gaps there. And then I'm going to do one more jump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Go on.
I was trying to work out where you can get by ferry
From the UK.
from the UK. So if we were passengers by foot, we could
Right.
go from Harwich,
Right.
and where would we get to?
To Holland, right?
No, I'm going further than that. We have Holland. Are you not
Netherlands.
listening?
Oh,
Denmark.
Denmark.
Oh, okay.
So you can get to Esbjerg. I'm going to pronounce it as. I don't know if that's right. Please correct me if I'm wrong by downloading and then telling us that we've got it wrong. We're looking at Ireland, Belgium, Luxembourg, or Denmark.
Okay.
Okay.
Our close neighbours, basically.
I'm trying to find a way of getting a route to there. Yes.
Okay. All right.
But we're now 25 different countries, and yes, we're still 6 continents. We haven't quite got that elusive one.
What, we've got 6 out of the 7.
Yeah.
So we haven't got Antarctica.
Yeah, so we just need to get in touch with the base out there. I
Right.
don't know if that's possible. But
Anyone that's on the base, well, I'll have a word.
Challenge accepted. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Fine.
See what I can do.
So now that I've told you that slowly we're taking over the world, just so that our listeners get a little bit more of an understanding of us, we mentioned it at the end of, I think it was the extra, but I've got a little icebreaker of what are your top 5 films that related New Year's resolutions. Now you've had time to think. And I want to say, is there anything personal or anything that you think we should do together over this coming year? Who wants to take that mantle first?
Matthew looks thrilled, so I'm going to go.
Well, he
You
loves
go
spending
first.
time with us, doesn't he? That's
I
the
know.
thing.
Loves every minute. Yeah.
Matthew,
Oh, am I going first, am I?
you are now.
Okay, well, my New Year's resolutions, as far as the podcast were concerned, were actually to try and go to the cinema at least once a month.
Do you know, I have got something similar. Having, for those people who listen regularly will know, I've got a 7-month-old baby, and getting to the cinema as regular as I used to is not easy. So
No.
set myself a task of actually going to the cinema.
Yes,
is
that's mine.
definitely on my list. Dominic's looking at us like, I go to the cinema regularly.
No, I don't. No, I haven't been for a very long time,
Should
actually.
go.
For me, anyway. But yeah.
Yeah.
Why
So
aren't you going?
Yeah. What's your problem?
You have a film podcast.
Yeah. Oh, apologies. Yeah.
Come on.
I know this life thing. I know.
This life thing.
That's
it just gets in the
excuses.
way.
That does sound
Yeah.
like excuses, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just loves the comfort of his sofa.
Well,
I just love finance too much and I can't get away from it. That's all it is.
If
Yeah.
you love finance too, please get in touch and tell Dom.
Let me know. Let me know.
Okay. So anything else, Matthew?
Yes, there was one. So there was an account I have on Letterboxd where I'm recording all the films I watch, which I'm sure lots of people do. No.
I only have a letterbox because you mentioned it in the past.
So I've been doing that, but over the last year I didn't bother writing any reviews. I've just been sort of recording when I've watched them. And I went back this week and actually started looking back at my reviews. And by reviews, I mean a short paragraph of what the film was about and what I thought.
And I'm sure as witty as ever, right?
Well, it's only for me. No one else is reading them, are they? So I thought I'd get back to doing that. So every time I watch a film, I'll write a paragraph review.
And the review, just because it's for you, it's just to remind you of what the film was?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay,
yeah.
Fine.
Do you know your total for 2024 so far? Number of films?
For this year?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Something to work on.
Two this year so far.
That's good.
Maybe 3.
Okay. I don't know if I'm beating you or not. I'll have a tally up. I just wondered if you were trying to hit a certain number like you have done in the past.
No pressure. No pressure on films.
Okay. Not till later in the year.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Dominic, anything from you?
I was having a think, and I was finding it quite difficult about what exactly, but I think what I'm going to try and do, related to this podcast and related to films in general, is try and watch stuff that's outside of my usual genres. Like try and watch a few more.
Okay, come on then. Which genre would...
I kind of resist.
Films you don't want to watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. So what I'm going to end up doing, I think, is just putting some in a pot, one from each, and then just picking it and doing it that way. So then I have no selection choice.
So we have something in my house, which is we have 10 balls each, and they're literally like globes that I spray painted, so you can't see what they're in. Put them in a bowl. I feel 10, my wife feels 10, because we can never agree a film.
Yep.
And then we randomly pick out until all of those 20 are gone, and then same again.
Yeah.
We haven't started that this year, but not yet.
So, we have an ongoing list where Bev tends to put films in, I put film in, and then we put Bev or Dom next to it. So if we're ever alone, we can watch it on our own rather than together. So we're going to put them in and just go for it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just go for it.
Watch them.
Anything related to us? You want to do something with us, or just record?
Other than do
you know, we should try and go to the cinema together, shouldn't we? When was the last time all three of us went to the cinema together?
Okay, so you hit part of what I was coming on to in my list, because clearly I've done more thought of this than you two have. Or I'm the one who wants to spend more time with you, and you've had enough of me already by doing this. So I said I want to go to the cinema because I used to go several times a week. There was a day that I went 3 times to the cinema, 3 different films in one day. But I have not gone to the cinema for years. Post-COVID, it's fallen off the radar. So I'm going to get back. And I would like to go to a couple of different ones as well. So cinemas that I don't necessarily know, because I'm not tied into a brand anymore.
Right.
So if there is somewhere where I'm visiting, maybe there's a decent cinema, that'd be quite interesting. But then I also came on to what you said. We haven't seen a film together for ages, so that would be something. And there's a couple of them. I also would like to go watch a film with an orchestra, because I've never done that.
Do they exist?
Yeah, like they play the Jurassic Park, and then you watch a Jurassic Park.
I thought you meant like a musical.
No.
Confused between stage and cinema.
So there'll be like a full orchestra playing the music live while you watch the film.
Where do they do that? I've never heard of it.
See. Look. So I thought that was something we could put on our list, maybe. I've also know that there's a certain Greenwich O2 where they do a VIP cinema screening, which does cost you a little bit more, but complimentary buffet before, as many snacks and drinks as you want, and a more comfortable screening, apparently. So I put that on the list. And the last one is there's a company called, I think I've shown you this before, Matthew, Taste Film. So they...
Oh, no, you've mentioned this before.
Eat at the same time.
They show you a film and they complement it with a dinner.
So it was the wine
in
version,
parallel.
sommelier version for cinema.
Yeah, and they've done like, off the top of my head, like Ratatouille, White Chicks was one they did. I don't know how you do that, but...
What do you do that? Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's something I'd like to look into as well. So there you go. Right. So if we've done the icebreaker, it's on to the main challenge.
Yes.
Okay, so Matthew with his amazing card trick last extra.
Getting you to pick a card?
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's good.
I wouldn't have expected us to pick the same number, as we got to number 66, which was top 5 films that are just too long.
Yep.
So we always start with the idea of how easy or complicated, or how have you thought about this?
So
hold on, before you talk, I want to preempt Dom.
Go on, guess what I've done then. Go on.
So I think Dominic's going to struggle to go away from a top 5 in terms of good. So I think Dominic has gone for his favourite long films.
I thought you'd do that as well. That's exactly what I thought you'd do.
So I thought he likes quite a lot of long films from what he's mentioned so far.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's just done top 5 films and he agrees that perhaps they're a bit long, but he likes them still. Am I wrong?
No, you are wrong. I'm completely opposite.
That has ruined my bonus opportunity.
So the fact that it says they are too long.
Yes.
The most films that are long that I watch, I thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah, but
So-
going through the madness that you sometimes do, I thought you were going to acknowledge that they were too long for the general public, but that you could quite still like them.
No, I've pretty much just done the ones that are far too long. That I didn't
found this
enjoy
really
because
hard
they're too long.
this week again, because if a film's too long, then you don't really like it.
Well,
So therefore, if a film's too long, it can't be good. So it's almost like it was like an anti-top 5, almost.
Yeah.
See, I've got a couple of my honourable mention lists that I like the film, but I also understand how it can be too long.
Yes.
But
Like,
that's
is-
why they're not in my top 5, because
is
my number
something-
1
yeah.
is the film that I think is the longest and could have been shortened by the most.
See, yeah, I
Ooh,
did that with
okay.
my 5.
oh no, I've done that. I've literally gone.
My 5 are how much could have been cut out.
Yeah,
And
I think
the
it's
more it could have been cut out, the higher up my list it
yeah,
is.
I think it's linked with that and anti, but yeah, that's where we got to.
Okay.
Interesting.
So Matthew's got his laptop out again because he hasn't managed to get to a printer this week.
I'm saving the planet.
Staples has closed and he doesn't know where to go anymore. So have you all picked one film that you're going to preempt for each other?
I have.
I have, yes.
Yeah, I'm disappointed because I think I've got mine wrong for Dom now. I thought I was being clever. I thought I'd try and predict the chaos that involves your selections.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So as long as we've got that sorted, I see no reason why we can't kick off. Is it me to go first?
It is. I was last.
Yep.
Yeah, I was first last time.
Okay. I struggled this week because, like you said, Matthew,
Yes.
I don't necessarily like some of these films.
Yep.
I then struggle with prompts.
Yes.
So they can't pick my favourable quote or something like that.
No, that was the other. Yeah, I had that issue as well.
So they're more factual this week. my
Okay, good.
prompts.
No, yeah. I'm the same.
Okay. My number 5. I have only ever seen the theatrical version. So the version that was released
Okay.
in the cinema.
Are we allowed to ask questions? Or are you just going to keep giving us prompts?
Well, you're allowed to guess the film, but
Well,
if you think you've got it,
I do think I've.
Oh,
No, I don't
see,
think it's
I-
on my list. I don't think it's on my list, but I think I've guessed it.
So you're saying you only went to the cinema and that's
Mhm.
the only time you've seen it?
yeah, but there are other versions of this.
Is
So that it gets
I
longer.
think it's a musical.
No,
Oh, and then I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna second your guess here. I think you think I guessed Les Mis.
I did think that.
Or
Yeah,
Oh, you've guessed my guess.
yeah, I
Is
know
that
that should be
worth
like a
weird?
bonus point.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
put Les Mis for me.
No, it's
Oh.
not on my list, but it was.
No,
It was
you-
one I considered, and when you
Ah.
just said that,
Okay, I thought he meant that's the one that I picked for your bonus point. Yeah, but no, okay.
no.
No, it's not that. So I've only ever seen the first theatrical version, but there are longer versions of this.
is it
Right.
like a director's cut?
Correct.
I think he does mean that.
Is it somebody? Okay, keep going then.
Yeah, go on, keep going.
I have to be honest, for most of the film, I was asking what on earth is going on.
Okay, that's a lot
And
of
my
films.
last clue, which is,
Yeah.
you could go one of two ways. The bringing together of heroes.
Oh, which one of is it? Is it one of the Avengers ones?
It is not MCU.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
Justice
Zack
League.
Snyder.
Well, no, that would be the version I haven't seen. For
So-
those people who are big fans out there and are going to tell me I've got this wrong because I've only ever seen...
So is it Batman versus Superman?
No.
So it's the Justice League.
Yes.
Okay.
Does anyone have that? No.
No,
do
Okay.
not.
No.
So I put the Justice League in because it is not the longest in the DC world. There are much longer ones, but I thought it was longer than it was. So when I checked, so I went on my gut feeling. When I watched this, I thought, oh my gosh, there's like they're
It's too
That's a
long.
good start.
they're having to introduce 3 new characters or 2 new characters or whatever it is. I think it was 3, but And so there's origins of those, and then we never got anywhere. And then when they did it all come together, they ended up battling parademons, which were all over the screen. Couldn't keep control, and I can't even remember what the plot was because I completely lost interest in it. And I think you could have just done better.
I can't remember exactly which one that was.
Seen it.
So the version that I've seen is only 2 hours long.
Okay. That is quite short for a film.
But I thought it was much longer than that in my head. The Snyder version is 4 hours 2 minutes.
Gee.
So unless somebody's going to
investment, isn't it?
What else have they got to put back in?
So unless somebody wants to send me a social media post to tell me that makes a difference.
2 hours.
2 more hours.
Yeah, by the sounds of the fact that you thought 2 hours too long, then
yeah.
Is that the one? So that's when like Flash comes in and
and then they. I really struggle with it. I think there's a box.
Yeah,
and then they try and fight people, and this is my point. And then there's a battle scene at the end where it's just pure chaos, and nobody can see what the heck's going on, and I don't really understand it.
Do you know what? I didn't realise I'd seen that film, and I have. So maybe it should be in my top 5.
Yeah.
No, so I haven't seen it on the basis that I hadn't.
You want 4 hours for the Zack Snyder cut?
I don't know. I just don't think I was particularly interested in seeing it.
No, well,
there we go.
No, just because
and to be fair, I didn't want to duplicate, so I haven't picked any other DCs, but I could have. I fell asleep in one of them in the cinema, but that comes under another thing somewhere else. There's a little spoiler for one of
possible future.
Yeah. Okay, that's my number 5.
Who's next? Is it me or Dom?
It is you, Matthew.
Right, my number 5. I'm going to tell you the length of the films.
Oh, I've got all that down as well. Don't worry.
My number 5 is actually only 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, hold on.
It's pretty short.
God, okay.
It's pretty short.
Okay.
Is it exactly 1 hour?
It is exactly 1 hour 40 minutes. You might have it.
No, I don't. No.
Okay, so it's 1 hour 40 minutes. I do like this film. Okay, I do like this film, but it's
still too long.
It's too long by almost exactly 3 minutes.
So there's one scene you don't like.
It's the ending, isn't it?
No, there's a bit in there that definitely means it's too long. Okay, so I'm gonna
Dominic, I'm about to apologise that I've ever gone. Matthew is creeping in with absolute ridiculous statements.
No, you are going to agree with me. Okay. Absolutely going to agree.
So it's 3 minutes that's not needed in a film.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure every film has 3 minutes that's not needed.
This is a very specific 3 minutes.
Does it ruin the film?
I don't know, because to be honest with you, we used to fast forward it.
See, I wondered if he was going to do this
or something.
There is a song.
It's animated.
No, it's not animated.
Okay.
So it's not Robin Hood.
It's not Robin Hood.
No.
The animated, in case people are worried.
Yeah.
No.
So it's the other one.
Which is the other one?
Charlie.
It is.
Charlie.
It is. Charlie and it's
I can't remember which
Willy
one
Wonka.
it is.
Is it which one is it?
No, it's Charlie and
the Chocolate Factory.
That's
right.
Gene Wilder.
You should be able to tell us. You've got the name of it, right?
I know, but I feel like I've written it down wrong now that you've said it, so I know I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah,
yes,
the first one.
Yeah, that's right. The Gene Wilder version, and it's the bit that absolutely is unnecessary is the mum song. And I know
she's
you
washing
agree
her
with
clothes,
me.
Isn't she?
It doesn't add anything to the film at all.
Is it not meant to show that he's from humble origins?
No, we see all that. That's not a problem. We see all that. It's a boring song.
I feel like I'm trying to find a way of arguing this, and yet I know I totally agree with you.
I'm just yeah. It's not long, but it was. I didn't want to include lots of those types of films because you're right. There is always a scene that you can cut from a film here, there, everywhere, but there is absolutely no reason for that song. It's not a good song. It's not interesting. It just needs fast forwarding, which is what we always did.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it came on. So that is my number 5 because it's a short bit, but it is too long because of that.
And to get clear now, you're going to tell us the length of all the bits you'll get rid of in the future?
Not exactly, but a rough idea.
I want to know that you've watched it and timed how long that section was.
No, I haven't watched it timed, but
okay.
it's roughly.
He went from
minutes. That's quite long.
He went from the marker in to the marker out. He literally has worked it out.
Yeah. So that's my number 5. It's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I believe it's 3 minutes too long. That song is just not good.
I don't even know what it sounds like in my head.
It's called Cheer Up Charlie. And agreed, I must have heard it loads because we did listen to the first 10 seconds before we found the remote control to fast forward. So there you go.
Well, if anything, he does.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. We'll move swiftly on then, Dominic.
Okay.
Your number 5.
Yeah, so my number 5, I've I've actually seen this within the last week.
Okay.
Is that
so
what
it's a-
made you realise that it's too long?
Because I really struggled with these because I thought if I find it too long, I'd either didn't watch it all or I watched it and then just forgot about it. So
Yep.
So
was
you've
quite
double checked all these films?
I have watched like a lot of the trailers to make sure that it was the one I thought it was. Yeah, just because it was that bad. But
Good research.
yeah. But so this one is about the. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, so 2023. The film is 216 minutes long.
How long is that? How many hours is that? Just under 3.
No, you're a mathematicien.
Yeah.
3 hours
180 is
36.
3
Oh yeah,
hours.
so it's over 3.
So, over
So is
3
this
and
one
a
of the
half hours.
ones
You probably know it, and you probably have to guess. There's not that
20
many that came out.
2023?
Three.
Oh no, see.
Is it? Have you already had it on your list?
No,
Okay.
it's like brand new. Like as in
As in not a sequel.
no.
Okay.
Okay. So
That's where
yeah.
you were going.
No,
Yeah.
I was going with a Netflix.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
I don't think that's too long.
Well, that's my guess gone.
So the plot is essentially a family discover oil and get
Oh,
killed
I know.
off one by one
Oh, okay, I don't know.
to ensure that oil money lands and gets inherited into the right family.
I do know the film.
It's Martin
Are they-
Scorsese. It's most recent. Yeah.
Oh, is it the killing
Secret.
sacred flowers?
Killers of the Flower Moon. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, I've not seen it. I
No.
can't comment.
But I haven't seen it because of its runtime. Like it's too much of an investment.
Pause. I think I can name more films that you've watched that are longer than that. I
Yes,
can name a
yes.
few longer than that.
Yes, but I'm older now. I'm wiser, and my time is more important.
What film's longer than 3.5 hours?
A film that's over 3.5 hours.
Yeah, no, but you get an example.
So
I can't
if you
think
do a
of it.
little bit of research into this, there are quite a number of films. So basically, there's a big argument at the moment, which is that films are getting longer again. But if you go back pre-1960, there are a number of theatrical releases,
There are
like
long
Gone in the
films.
Wind, Gone
Gone with the Wind. Yeah,
Gone with the Wind, and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff, where they used to be that long.
I
because
thought
there is-
I meant recent, but okay.
But there is some people who are campaigning for intervals in these long films.
Agreed.
This one, yeah, it needed it.
So
Very
it
much
wasn't. It wasn't interesting. Is that the
So-
problem?
But that's the problem was it was just for the first hour, if I'm completely honest, it was so slow. They could have compacted that to about 15 minutes to give the background story of what it was all about, but it's always the romance that gets in the way.
Is it slow?
Always.
Do you know what? I've got one.
I'm
at
sorry to
least
say
that's
it.
got that in there.
It's one of those things where you think, I don't need that love story. I just need to know how they got there very quickly. They got married. What was the reason? Okay, let's get to the killing.
What was the reason they got? Hold on. What was the reason they got married?
In this story, it makes
They
it
love
makes sense.
each other. Surely is the
I don't
answer
think
to
that's the reason.
That's not.
That
the,
would
not
be
really
a
the reason
reason.
in this film.
Oh,
no,
dear.
Oh, is it money?
it's oil related. So yes, it's oil and land.
God, that was difficult to work
It
out.
was based on a true story, so that's why I kind of watched it. I was really interested in the fact that, but yeah, that is far too long. It could probably be at least cut by, in my opinion, probably about 45 minutes to an hour.
Right. Okay, that is too long. I mean, like I said, it puts me off a film if it's 3 hours plus.
Yeah,
Like-
you've got to really commit, haven't you? It's
So
like
I will caveat a little bit here.
Yeah.
So one of the films that I think we were just talking about that we thought Dom had guessed.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I'm not at the cinema and I watch something at home with my wife, she has got into a habit of stopping a film halfway and watching it the second day. And I feel like I can't tell you if it's too long because I've watched it in 2 parts.
Well, that I think is doable, but it's still quite a commitment. You're right. The cinema is a big deal. Like Oppenheimer, for example, being 3 hours. I was willing to
I wasn't
go
going to
to
name
that.
films here just in case somebody's got it
No,
on
I
their
know that.
list.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that, but I was willing to go there on the basis that I like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. I feel like when I looked at, and I did look up films that were long, and hence, as you said, there's not that many, but there are. I then realised I've watched some of these films, but I've watched them in 2 parts. So they don't feel long at that point because I've had a break.
See, I think you'd know because if you stop it and then go, oh my God, 2 hours left, you'll then go, that's too long.
Yeah, if you've got to
You're
go,
done.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
oh, we've got to watch it again
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you're
Okay.
done with this. Yeah.
So that's number 5s.
Yeah, number 5's are done.
Number 5's done.
Okay.
On to my number 4.
4, Jeremy. 4.
Okay. I've got a quote for this one.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you remember this one?
I do remember this one. Yep. Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance. While others search for what they can take, a true king searches for what he can give.
King. I'm assuming that's a big hint.
Is it King Ralph?
It's not King Ralph.
Is that a big hint or not?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, no, that's...
I don't know the quote.
No, I don't know the quote. That's what I mean. But
I've gone for a slightly obscure one.
Okay.
Okay, more?
Yeah,
yes,
more.
please. Yeah.
One of the actors is in this is the same as the original. I have not picked the original.
Okay, so it's a remake. You've not picked the original.
And the original actor is in the remake.
As a different character or as the same character?
The same character.
Ooh.
Oh. Mm.
No, you keep going.
Yep, I need more. How long is
I've
it?
used the word actor there intentionally.
Okay.
Okay,
To try and throw you off the scent,
Right.
is what I'm telling you. So I think we've weirdly already mentioned this, prior to recording. I think we all got a toy from the original when we were at Disney.
What?
Is it The Lion King?
It is the remake of The Lion King.
Okay.
James L. Jones does the voice
Oh, okay.
in both of them. And I did. Yes, there is a king in there. Didn't want to give it away
Yeah.
too much.
I'm going to go straight out and say I haven't watched it because I don't want to ruin the original.
Well, this is the interesting thing. So again, it's not the longest film ever. It is 1:58.
Okay.
But when you compare that, it is 30 minutes longer than the animated one.
And that was good.
And that is good. And that's concise and perfect and everything it needs to be. Where the heck did they find 30 extra minutes?
I was going to ask you because I've not seen it either. Again, I like the original and didn't really want to watch the remake.
Yeah.
Actually, because it's animated animals, for some reason that seemed odd.
I agree. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
It's not
there was
have you
something
seen The
that I
Jungle
wasn't-
Book, though?
No.
Okay.
Okay, that.
So again,
I
I wasn't-
have, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, Bill
but
Murray's very good in that.
I wasn't
slightly
drawn to
different
them.
story though.
Yeah, they've gone closer to the Rudyard Kipling story because
So-
it's got a harsher ending. But
What can you remember that is extra?
No, I can't remember a thing. But but I can tell you things that I don't like about it.
Did
as
they
well.
miss anything out? Is it
So-
exactly the same?
I think what they've done is they've tried to make it more scenery based, slow. Cinematography comes into it because
less for children.
It's better for an adult.
Yes.
I was going to say for an adult
because
audience.
if you're being honest, it's how many years later? It's probably 20 odd years later.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just trying to tap into the market that already exists of people that like The Lion King. That's what they're doing with all the reboots.
Any new songs? If that's the case, that's upsetting.
No, but
Any old songs?
the bit that annoys me is the voices are worse. There are terrible singing. I cannot tell you that Seth Rogen has ruined Pumbaa because he cannot sing, and he's got one of the best songs.
Of course.
And then you've got John Oliver instead of Rowan Atkinson, and it just doesn't work. But they basically just picked famous voices
Yeah.
Yeah.
at that time, and
get the names.
I just can't do it. It's 30 minutes too long. Exactly.
I agree. The original was perfect.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So why change
original's brilliant.
it? If you're going to remake it, I suppose if you're going to remake it, though, you've got to tweak it slightly.
But they went for names. So
Why
Donald
remake it?
Glover, Beyonce.
Exactly.
I can never pronounce his name. Chiwetel Ejiofor. Yeah.
Yeah.
John Oliver,
No.
Seth Rogen. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
But I haven't watched that because I don't want to watch. And now I know it's longer.
I feel like
Put
Seth
me off
Rogen's
even
voice
more.
would be good as Pumbaa if he didn't sing then, maybe. Because I think he has got
It's
a
a
Pumbaa
pretty
voice.
big bit of Pumbaa.
Yeah. That song.
Fine.
He turns up and there's like 2 or 3 songs that.
Jeremy feels quite strongly.
Yeah.
That's my favourite character from the original. I'm not going to
Hakuna
lie.
Matata, yeah. Needs no worries. Jack.
Yeah,
Needs no worries.
but I do have a worry, and it's that this film
It's 30 minutes too
is
long.
30 minutes too
Right.
long.
No,
Right, Matthew.
fun.
Oh, my number 2. No, my
No,
number
number
4. My
4.
second one, which is number 4. Right, so my number 4, I thought Jeremy was going to mention. It is an origin story that is a reboot.
Okay.
Are we talking DC?
We are talking DC.
Superman Returns.
No, not Superman Returns.
The Batman or the Robert Pattinson Batman.
No,
It's not
No.
Batman, no.
no, I enjoyed that.
Wonder Woman.
No,
Not really a reboot.
not really reboot.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
I
Well,
was-
there
I was
wasn't
looking
original,
up-
right?
I was looking up online to see if I could get some clues because, like you say, I struggled with clues because I've seen the film once, and because it was long, And because it was too long and I wasn't interested in watching it again, I've struggled with little bits. So I looked up some stuff, and someone had written an allegory for it being Jesus versus Hitler. That's what they wrote. That was the title.
Batman versus Superman.
No, it's not Batman versus Superman. It is Superman, but it's not Batman versus Superman.
Oh, I don't know.
So it's not Superman Returns.
No, you're getting the wrong film. What's the name of the film, though? It is Superman. But it's not called Superman Returns.
It's the first one.
Yeah.
Oh,
With-
I swear it.
It's
with who's the actor?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know why you've picked this as well, but
Man of Steel.
Oh,
that's it.
That's the one.
Is there a Superman Returns as well?
The Superman Returns is, I believe, the one with Christopher Reeve.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
just mixed the...
You have mixed them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, it's this one, and I reckon this is about 20 minutes too long because of the ridiculous fight at the end.
Oh, I was going to go different. I find that he is... Is that the one where he's really mopey? And there's just lots of...
Aren't they all mopey?
There's a lot of, oh, isn't it really bad? and they long sceneries, and we're in the fields feeling bad for ourselves, and it just felt like there was too much of that.
See, I was all right with the origin story part. It was there's a fight with General Zod at the end
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
that goes on and on and on, and more gets broken and more buildings fall down, and I'm assuming more people die, but they never actually really mention those or point them out. And
Once
it's just
again.
on and on. And again, you can't quite see what's going on.
No,
'Cause there's
same
too
problem
much
with the
action.
DCs, yeah.
And it was just like, okay, I get it. They're fighting. Just like you said, just shorten it to they're done fighting now. Superman's possibly won.
Do you know, once again, it's one of those films that I've definitely seen, but I could not tell you what happens until you told me that.
When you said it, I just thought slow,
Mm-hmm.
boring. And then you told me about, and you're quite right, you told me about the scene at the end, and then it just hits, and you're like, what am I watching again?
Yes,
They're just throwing each other around the scene.
So anyway, I reckon there's about 20 minutes in that at the end. Just the 20 minutes at the end that I think is too long.
I see the problem there. You can't really time a song.
No.
You can time the fight.
You can time the fight.
You can time the fight.
Did you do that?
No, I didn't. It's
terrible
about 20
research.
minutes. But I remember looking at my watch while the fight was going on and thinking, it's been on a while. And then looking again at it later, it was like 15 minutes later. I was like, they're still fighting.
Okay.
So,
Overkill,
20 minutes.
essentially.
Alright.
Then.
Massive.
Agreed.
Yes.
Dominic, number 4.
So I don't know if you two have watched this, but we'll find out, obviously. But so
Is
I
that a very
struggle with-
polite way of angling it at me?
No,
Okay, I thought it was
I
a horror
really-
film, and then he was going to be very nice and say, "I'm not sure if you two have watched it." Thinking
No.
Jeremy's definitely not watched it.
this is one of the films that popped up into my mind straight away, and so much so I had to once again do some like looking into it, some research to find out
What the
exactly
storyline
what the storyline was, because I remember watching it and being so confused.
See, when you say it
So
like this, I
confused.
go to some of mine and think, "Oh, I wonder if it's the same."
So
Because I've got a couple where I could remember very little, but I
that's
knew it was
because
terrible.
they're too long and they
Yeah.
haven't grabbed
Yeah.
your attention.
So this one is 2009 and it's 2 hours 43 minutes.
Hold on,
No, it's not one of mine.
I've got to go through my notes here to make sure that I haven't. How long is it?
2 hours and 43 minutes.
No, I think we're safe.
No, I think we're right.
Okay. I
No
think
duplications is what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure there's the director once again is known for his director's cuts.
Right.
And they extend from like 2:43 all the way up to 3-4 hours, but it's based on a DC comic.
Oh, see, look, we're just churning them out
I
today.
know, lots
I know.
of DC.
Yeah, true. And this is actually set in 1985, where superheroes exist at the height of the Cold War.
Is it
A DC comic
is-
that they've turned into.
is it somebody that's red?
No,
No. Okay.
there's a. Well, I could tell you now if you want, but there's a big blue man.
Oh, when did we come on Blue Men? Was that a week, 2 weeks
It's
ago?
not the same blue man.
Not the same Blue Man. No, it's a DC Blue Man.
No, but we had a conversation about Blue Men and got on to what's his name? Malcolm in the Middle's film again. This is like deja vu coming through my head now.
Yeah, but it's
Cody Banks, Agent Cody
Agent
Banks.
Cody
That's what we
Banks.
got round to last time. Either that or we're going to get
So,
to
yeah.
I'm blue and Demedy.
So there are definitely no quotes I can say that'll make any difference because I can't remember them.
Okay.
It's a DC
some of the
film.
characters are Dr. Manhattan,
Oh, I know what it is. Okay. It's
Sil Spectre, and
my
Night
head.
Owl.
It's just gone out of my head. It's the Watchmen.
It's Watchmen.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. Again, I have seen it,
I don't think I have.
and some people absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. But I could not tell you anything that happened in that film
And
other than a character who is called Rorschach,
Yes.
who has
Funny.
like ink print on his face that moves.
He's like a cuttlefish. Is how I remember it because it just changes.
That
It all
is very
changes through it.
specific.
Well, no, because it changes exactly. That's how I remember
Okay.
it. But the one bit I remember, I just remember watching it being very, very slow.
Could you?
Very complicated.
Tell me a rough plot.
Yeah, please, because I've
Go
not
on.
watched it and maybe I want to watch it.
Yeah, maybe we want to watch it.
Maybe
now.
some of our listeners want to watch it
Tell
and
us
they
the
need
rough
some
plot.
idea of what it might entail.
So, from memory,
Okay.
I remember I think there was all the superheroes had retired
Mm-hmm.
and they were coming back because one of them got killed randomly and they don't know why. So they all regrouped and what I can't remember that Rorschach, whatever his name is.
Rorschach.
Yeah. He was the kind of detective that was going around and looking.
It sounds a bit like The Incredibles, but go on.
He was going around to find it, but by doing that, lots of other people were being killed and they don't know why. And then that's all I really remember.
Okay, fine.
But then Dr. Manhattan had an accident and could control atoms. And so it
Hang
was
on,
to,
his-
it was to
his
help with the war
superpower-
in Vietnam and things like that as well. It was real.
So his
there was a lot of
superpower is
political
to
side of it.
control atoms.
Yeah, so he was
which
in
is
an
everything.
accident. Yeah, exactly. So
Right.
he made himself absolutely humongous and just
Okay.
controlled everything. So I remember being like, oh, if he's like that, he's just going to win. There's not really much fun in it. But
Well, to link through to the extra, that links through to Invincible, doesn't it? Atom Eve, she can do the same thing, but
Yeah,
she
but-
doesn't destroy people.
but there's also people that could beat her. Oh, I don't know that yet, but yeah. As
Yeah.
in-
Spoiler.
Right, okay, well.
Okay.
Yes, no,
I can't comment because I cannot. Either I've watched it and I can't remember it, or I don't think I've watched it and I don't think I've watched it.
watched it and can't remember.
Yeah, so my
Yeah.
thought being
Must be too
it
long.
must be too long.
Why do I have in my head that there's a remake of that coming out?
Well, I'm hoping not,
I don't know.
personally.
Well, it might be better.
It might be better, it might be shorter.
Well, if it is, yeah, okay. Let me know.
It's a
So,
series.
yeah.
It's a one-off series. It's only 20 minutes long.
There was a series of it
There was.
that was
Okay.
brought out. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, let's move on.
Go.
What number am I on? 3.
3.
Number 3.
Okay. I don't think you'll guess this from any of my clues, so I'll crack on.
Good.
It's a remake of a John Wayne 1960s film.
True Grit.
No.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
That's it. That
Is there a
that's-
remake of that?
Yeah.
I'm going to go all Western. Hateful Eight.
No.
Yeah.
Something 7.
There's a countdown happening here. Okay. It's based on a historical event that occurred in 1836.
Something about the Alamo.
Absolutely.
Oh.
What is it? What is it though?
It's the Alamo.
When was that made?
It was a remake. It's in 2004. It is 2 hours 17 minutes, but I could not.
Who's in it?
I can't believe it. Dennis Quaid, Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay.
It gets 6 out of 10 on IMDb if you want to know. But
It's not
The-
bad. It's
the
not
film-
bad. It's not
well,
good.
no,
It's
but-
not bad.
I don't know why I watched it. When you think about the whole premise of the film, is it's a standoff.
The whole thing.
So
It was just them waiting.
the Alamo is basically they were waiting inside. They were being surrounded. It's during the Texan Civil War. It's Mexico versus America, and they get to a point where they're just holding the Alamo, and that's the film. I can't even tell you how it finishes. Is the funny bit, but I just remember there are really long dramatic pauses where not a lot happens because it's a standoff.
Did the trailer kind of thrill you enough to watch it though? What made you watch it? Can you remember?
Yeah.
I can't remember what
'Cause
made
that
me
to me
watch it. It
sounds
might
like
have been
I'd
one of those
avoid.
times when you go to the cinema and you're like, I
Did
don't
you-
really know what's on.
Did you go to the cinema
To
to
the
see it?
cinema.
I can't remember where I've watched this.
Did you watch everything else that was on at the cinema and you probably thought,
No, but there's sometimes
Watch
when there's quiet phases, they know it's going to be,
yeah.
and then this comes out. But Yeah, I don't know why I chose to watch it when I reflect on what this film is actually encompassing.
You don't have to like all the films you watch.
No,
I'm assuming you're not going to
I can
rewatch this one.
No.
or the original. No.
No, that might be better.
Yeah, maybe the original is better. Maybe it's about 30 minutes shorter.
Well, seeing as neither of you have seen this
No.
nor heard of it,
No.
if anyone out there wants to get in touch and tell me that the 1960 John Wayne version is much better, I will take it on board, but probably not listen.
So the whole
Other
film
things
is
to
them
watch.
just sitting and waiting. Not that sound okay. I'm
So
exaggerating.
basically,
but
from
yeah.
what I remember, they basically are holding the Alamo to make sure they can't get any further.
Okay.
And you just get to that point where there's people inside, there's people outside, and
It's a standoff.
there's a standoff. They just keep shooting at each other, missing, occasionally hitting. Oh no, another one's dead. Oh well, okay. So now it's 5 versus 4. Or I can't. It was more than that, but you know.
But
what I mean.
it's a big point in American history, right?
Yeah.
They see it as a
I would love to
big
know
part
that
of
as
their
well
American history.
because, well,
Well,
it must be because there's still the feud between
there's
the
films
American
about
and
it.
the Mexicans.
There's films about it, so it must have been
Yeah.
quite big. And I've
There's-
heard about it in other pop culture. So
Yeah, and
They
people
reference it a lot,
people
don't
refer
they?
to
Yeah.
the Alamo.
Yeah.
That was my last cue. Is the Battle of Alamo is what people talk about as a massive standoff. But yeah, there we go. That's my number 3.
right, is it me? I
It's
can't
you,
remember the
yeah.
order
Go
now.
round to you, yeah.
Right, number 3. My number 3. So I've seen it and I've seen it once.
That's a good start, yeah.
It's 3 hours and 21 minutes long.
Wait.
Say again.
3 hours and 21 minutes long.
You can hear the paper go as we
according to IMDb.
Okay.
It
No.
is number 7 in IMDb's top films of all time.
Ooh,
So it's a
okay.
very popular film.
Is it a sequel?
It's the third
Okay.
in a trilogy.
And how long is it, sorry?
3 hours and 21 minutes of my life I'm not getting back.
Are we talking
Trilogy?
gangster?
No, we're not talking gangster.
Sci-fi?
No. I
Okay,
know
keep going with your
Jeremy
clues.
likes it.
Oh gosh. Keep going with the clues then.
The cast actually sound like characters from the world. They didn't need other names. So the cast sounded like characters from that world. There is a spider in it called Shelob. Jeremy.
Oh yeah. He's gone for the Return of the King.
I've gone for Lord of the
It's on
Rings.
my
Return of the
honourable
King.
mentions.
okay.
I will add that it's on my honourable mentions, but
So
I do get it,
I'm not a fan of those films in particular,
as we
Mhm.
keep hearing.
right?
Yeah.
But I don't really have anything against them. Maybe I do need to rewatch them. Maybe I need to watch them properly. But the end of that is
Yes,
ridiculous.
yeah,
It's I think they ran out of colours to fade to. They seem to fade to white, fade to black, fade to grey, fade to brown, fade to orange, fade to red. And
There's a
I'm thinking,
lot of buys, is how I remember it.
There
So
was.
we've actually finished the plot, and then we've got to say bye to this character in one montage, and
Yeah.
then another one in this. It was almost like you get to the end of Pop Idol and they show you your best bits for everything.
That
and
is
that's
what it felt
kind of
like.
how it feels like. You know, this is the third person.
Mhm.
Oh, let's show them what they did. Let's second them, we'll say bye. And then it
I
was
reckon-
countdown.
I reckon at least 30 minutes of that film could have been cut from them saying goodbye to everyone. And they could have just
Absolutely.
gone. I
Okay.
think they could have just gone off. I'm not sure it added anything to the film. So I'm saying at least 30 minutes.
So to be clear, the director's cut is 4 hours 23.
Probably.
It is.
There's
I've
probably
written
more
it down.
goodbyes. Maybe they found some more colours.
They've gone rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but that's fair enough. That didn't even register to me because I think I enjoyed them.
I enjoy it, but I do agree that I found that ending. I remember sitting there in the cinema thinking, and that must be the. Oh wait,
Was it
no,
a
we
bit
got some more.
was it too indulgent?
And I think yes, I think that's exactly what it
But
is.
I think it had earned the indulgent from a lot of its fans.
But I think that's what they played on.
Yes.
I think they thought that everyone would not be happy unless they did a goodbye to every single part,
Everybody.
Everybody,
bit by
yeah.
bit.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I think the fact that I'm not a big fan of it just made it even longer than it needed to be.
Yeah, that's
Probably.
fair.
But there we go. So that was my number 3. That's Return of the King.
Even though I like those, completely understand. Dominic,
Right. So I've gone for a kind of different tact this time on this one.
Right.
So this is this film. Don't
You
start
don't help
yelling.
yourself.
I love the
sometimes.
random roll of the dice with Dom. Go on.
Yeah, okay. So this is actually only 90 minutes long, this film,
Mhm.
Oh, interesting.
2014. And I interpreted this as it was just too long because the ending was a appalling, in my honest opinion.
So should it have ended earlier?
They should have just done something different.
Isn't that just ended wrong?
No.
Not that it's too long.
Well, it is too long in the fact that like
find out what the
5-10
film
minutes
is
of
first.
it they could have just got rid of it. I don't think that it needed
Right,
it.
give me
It
some
went
clues. Give me some
Okay,
clues. Yeah.
The plot. This is kind of the only thing because there's not that much to go on.
Can you not remember it very well?
No, I can this one
Oh,
very
okay.
much so. Like there's quotes, but unless you've seen it and you're a real
Yeah, that's how this game works.
buff of it, but I don't think it's one of the films that is likely to come up because.
Okay.
Anyway, right. So I'm trying to remove the name. She was hired to deliver a suitcase to someone abroad. She's captured, turned into a drug mule, and for a new powerful synthetic drug, the bag she's carrying inside of her leaks, and then her body undergoes unimaginable changes. It begins to unlock her mind's
but I
full
don't know
potential.
why.
Is it
Similar to Limitless, but it's not.
No, that's
it
where my brain went.
not that one? Is it Lucy?
It is Lucy, yes.
With Scarlett Johansson.
With Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman, those are the only two big names in it.
I think I've seen it, but I can't remember it.
I am not sure if I've seen it.
So that's the plot and that's what happens pretty much. But for the bulk of it, once the drug gets inside of her, it just opens up her mind and her mind starts using its full capability. So
Is it
limitless?
Yeah.
Is
So
it
starts
then
at 10%.
like Quicksilver? Like, I can move twice as quick as other people.
Things, yeah. She can jump. She can do lots of everything else, and she's able to do everything with her body and mind, shall we say? But at the end, I don't want to. There is a big spoiler here.
Can I ask a question? Would that apply if it was me? Obviously, I am in not the tip-top physique, but I would then be the most flexible ever because of this drug.
Yeah, because he knows what to do. Wait,
but you can't change somebody's physiology.
I didn't
maybe
like
you
the
can.
film. It's a film.
Okay.
The point being, at the end of it, essentially she's able to control her own atoms.
Right. Okay.
And then
there's a theme here.
She goes into the floorboards, into
Tom doesn't like
her
people that
surroundings.
can control their own atoms.
No, into her surroundings, and she ends up ringing Morgan Freeman's character. She is the phone, so she talks to him through anything. And
can I ask, have you got the any of the X-Men's in here? Because one of them can do this as well, can change into things.
The problem with that is that that went a bit too far, but then there is a section, 5-10 minute section at the end of it where they then go back all the way to the beginning of time in the Jurassic period up to like to Neanderthals, to apes and everything like that, to the evolution. And the CGI is so bad. All I can think of is the budget went.
Is it worse than the Guinness advert then?
It's so bad. I can't describe it unless you've seen it, but they try the ape. It just it looks like the way I describe it is like they've got a sixth form budget for a media project towards the end, and they've gone home and
bless
they've like
the sixth formers trying their
some
hardest.
sort of rug on a guy that's just hunched, looking like an ape, sticking a finger out. But honest to God, the whole film was okay, but then the last 10 minutes.
So it's too long for you because they went too far.
They went too far, and then they didn't need the last part. It didn't add to the film at all.
Right,
and the
okay.
fact that it was poor just
that sort of does back up
to it.
up the topic.
Yeah.
It's not just films Tom doesn't like.
No, but the reason for that being
Films
too long is
with
that the ending was
atomic
awful.
manipulation in it.
The ending was awful. So they could have cut the ending.
Okay.
Last 10 minutes, gone.
Okay.
Right.
And as a percentage of the film, that is quite a lot.
Yeah.
If it's
Okay.
only that long.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
There we go.
Number twos.
Historical interpretation.
That's all
How
we're
long?
guessing.
The
That's
first
the clue.
clue
How long is the film?
How long?
3 hours 14.
14.
1-4.
I feel like it depends. But
Hang on.
Have you got this number one?
No.
Okay.
I think I know what you think it is.
go on then, go for it.
Hold on. You think you know
right,
what I think it is?
Yeah. Well, sorry.
I definitely know what it is.
Okay, you know what it is. I'm gonna give you a hint back.
Okay. You don't get any extra points for this.
And then let me struggle.
Is
Yeah.
there a Britney Spears song that references this film, or at least a scene in that film?
No, that's longer.
Or is that longer? Is that film longer? We're massively talking in code now.
Can I just say there is a triangle going on here that just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
now.
and it's longer.
It's longer than that. Okay.
Can we just?
So there's a Britney. Which song is it? Where she says, "And the old lady dropped it
into the ocean." It is that one.
Lucky.
Oh, there you go.
Isn't that Lucky?
Yeah, Lucky. Thank you. It is Lucky. Well done.
No, it is that one.
What I've got?
So it's Titanic.
Hang on. What?
Titanic. Have you got Titanic?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then we have to pause there.
We'll pause and we'll come back to
Dominic, I don't think we've agreed on something before, so
No,
very
you haven't.
happy.
You haven't.
And so it is Titanic. Yeah.
I've got that as 3 hours 14 minutes.
Good, because I put Titanic down for you.
Well, very predictable.
Yeah.
Don't try and play games.
So that one's your number
2. So we'll come back to it because we'll be doing it later.
Okay. So it's my number 2 now.
Yeah.
Right. My number 2 has a few catchy songs in it. But when I watched it, the time stopped. There is no other way to explain the way I felt about it. I did not enjoy 1 second of it. I recognised about 2 or 3 songs. I didn't really enjoy them particularly. And it was 2 hours and 52 minutes long. It is ridiculous.
Is this a musical that can be done with a cast of 7 people, I think it is?
It would need at least...
you can repeat people.
I
think this is how it's done on the stage, if I'm thinking of the right one.
You need 7 children.
Oh, no.
Oh, what?
So you need 7 children.
Okay, so I thought you were going into the woods.
No, I wasn't going into the woods.
Okay, because that's quite long as well. But
no,
okay.
This is some people's favourite films. This is another very popular film.
No, keep going. I want another clue, but
It's
I think
from
I've got it in my head.
1965.
Is it in like the mountains?
It is in the mountains.
The hills
Yes.
are-
Oh my days. Oh my word. So
It's not my favourite, but I don't mind it.
oh my god. So I'd never seen it.
I don't want to, and I never have.
I
You-
think
no, I can't.
about a year after I met my wife, she said, "Oh, we should watch it." So we sat and watched it.
Had
and
she watched it?
Yeah, she loved
Okay.
it. She loved it. So they wanted me to watch it. And it was around Christmas time. So apparently that's what you do. Some people do.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't understand that
but
either.
yeah.
But it was just no part of it made me want to continue watching it. I didn't. Oh, no.
Why
It's
did
just
Why did
so
she
long.
like it? Why did Kim like it?
I don't know.
It's quite. It has got memorable songs.
It does.
And it's a historical moment as well. Obviously, it's almost like them hiding from the Nazis and everything like that.
I feel like I've seen the film, but in bits on the internet. So
I think
Yes.
I think when I watch it, it's normally about festive times, and you can dip in and out of it.
Trying to watch it in one go, it was.
So what I mean is, when a song comes on, I can return to it and be like, "Oh yeah, I like this bit," and then I can go, I don't know, have festive merriments with my mince pies, and then
But
come
I even
back
found
to
the
it.
songs annoying, like when the Do Re Mi song.
It's just around, Matthew.
Yeah, no, they're
Yeah.
irritating. The kids were irritating. They're supposed to be these unruly children that keep getting rid of their governesses, and you're sort of like, they're just irritating. There's nothing nasty about them.
Times have changed, Matthew.
Yeah, I know times have changed.
So,
Just seriously,
What's too long about it?
everything. There is no
this comes
part
back
of
to-
it that I thought wanted to sit and watch. I did not enjoy any of the characters. It was very obvious right from the word go exactly what was going to happen,
So
and yet it took 2 hours and 52 minutes for most of it. Could have been done in 3 songs. 3 songs. That's what I reckon.
I was going to let you get away with it if it's got one of those old school starts where you have just the people's productions names and just a song playing at the beginning.
It does have that. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's
but-
an older film. But
I can't think of a bit where I thought it was slow, weirdly. And you're telling me that's how I should feel. But
Well,
I also, at the
how
same
about
time...
any of the times where the kids were out playing, and then she makes them things out of curtains, makes them clothes out of curtains. Like,
I feel,
the point?
Matthew, this is just a vendetta against the film rather than it being
no.
too long.
That's what I thought.
The bit at the end where there's like a concert, didn't understand a lot of the point of the concert.
So they have to have that so that they can smuggle them out.
I know, but
because
they
they go
didn't-
under the stage and then out the back. So because otherwise they were going to be taken off by the Nazis. So it's an escape plan.
Fine, but do we need Edelweiss while that happens? Not really.
That actually like charted as well.
I'm sure it
What
did.
a quote.
Do we
Just
need
snip
a
that.
device?
Yeah, absolutely.
But that wasn't the only act that we got to see. We got to see other acts. It's
I've-
almost like we actually watched the actual concert. Oh my!
I feel
goodness.
like you just hate it.
Yeah.
I feel like
But
you just don't
because
like
it's
it.
so long, yeah.
you're
So
te-
you're,
you're
so you're
telling-
telling me you
oh,
would
go
have
on.
liked it if there were bits missing.
Or if it was half the time. I
Mhm.
don't think so.
Cut
I
out the
think you
bits
sound like-
between the catchy songs.
What about if it
I'm
was
not saying they're not
just the
catchy songs. In fact, you know what? You can even keep in Edelweiss, despite the fact that I don't really see the necessity
Okay.
for it. But if you trim all of that down and just have the songs, I'm all right with that.
Right, we're going to have to disagree on this one. And I reckon our listeners, I think you're right. You're going to get some stick from
Well,
that.
whatever.
Dominic, you're number 2.
Didn't enjoy it, yeah. Right, so this is 2 hours 47 minutes.
Okay.
Where have you got your film lengths from? Because if we disagree on Titanic,
I got mine from IMDb.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I got mine from.
What have you gone for? 2 hours and?
47 minutes.
Right, we're okay.
Okay.
2002 film.
All right.
It's based on a book, and the whole thing is set in Lower Manhattan, known as the 5 Points.
Oh, yeah. I know this.
I think. Go
The
on.
tagline
I can
was,
make a link to
"Freedom was
Paddington
born on
with
the
it if you want.
streets."
Paddington 2, I can make a link to.
The better of the two Paddington films.
Yeah,
Go on.
correct. Thanks for admitting it now.
Go on, what's the link to Paddington?
I think he is the barber,
I don't know what you're talking about.
or he's
at
the butcher.
Oh,
or
you're right. It
all.
is
The baker
him, yes.
or the candlestick maker.
No,
Jim Broadbent's in it as well, though. So
yeah,
that's another link.
Daniel
but yes.
Day Lewis.
Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson is the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is, Matt?
Is it Gangs of New York?
It is Gangs of New York. Yes, I was very excited to see this when
Oh, why? Why were you so excited?
Must have had
Just
a good trailer.
it
That's
did.
what I mean. That's
It
what
was,
I mean.
it was good build up. It was meant
Right,
like
all
the
right. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just wondering why
Okay.
you're excited about watching a film in particular.
high cast,
Right. Yep.
high level of cast, and I just remember watching the trailers and thinking, "There's a lot of action, lots of death, lots of
It's fighting.
fighting." Yeah, very much so. Lots
Bit
of
gruesome.
yeah.
Nice.
And then I watched it, and once again, I'm going to sound like a broken record here. I don't think Cameron Diaz's character needs to be in it. I think that part.
That's a very specific
be
though. At least I understand that's
Okay.
the bit that you think's too long.
Yeah, I think the whole romance between him, well, Leonardo DiCaprio's
Don't like the
character,
romance, do you?
I just don't. I don't know, because the whole point in the film is the relationship between Daniel Day-Lewis and Leonardo DiCaprio's characters.
And then
And
Cameron
then-
Diaz swans in with her ability to control atoms.
Just
ruins the film.
She does come in, and I don't think it's necessary to depict the whole picture by having a romance in there. I think it was just done to, yeah.
Do you think
to
it
hit
was
more
added?
people?
Do you think it was added though because there aren't any female characters?
Probably, yes.
Right.
And the fact that it probably opens it up to a bigger audience potentially because there's an element of romance in there, but I don't think they added it. I think they could get rid of
I've
that.
seen
and it
And
would be fine because I loved the rest of it.
I was going to say,
Genuinely.
I can remember some okay points of it, but it's not one I would go back to.
No,
I can remember how it ends, and I can remember lots of the points in it, but I can't remember.
there's quite a few side stories, obviously about obviously the butcher being.
I think it's one of
Daniel
those ones
Day-Lewis
that
and
I'd
then-
remember if I rewatched it, but I cannot pick anything
That's a
particular
good way
other
of
than
putting it.
other than scenes that I think I've got from trailers or
Yeah, lots
from,
of cleavers.
from cuts and stuff somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
But that is why.
but I did
Yeah.
think I enjoyed that film. I did think I enjoyed.
Yeah,
that
I think I
film.
enjoyed parts of it, but I could understand if it
Yeah.
was too long, if it's that
It is,
long.
it is long.
Yeah.
And I can't remember enough plot that covers that length of time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it.
Okay,
Right.
so it's your number one.
Yeah, my number one, and then my number two is what Dom's number one is. So
Mhm.
we know what's coming in the end.
Okay.
My number one is, how do I put this? As soon as we said this title, jump to this straight away. I do not understand anyone who can give me hype about this. And what's even weirder is I went and did a bit of research. It's 2 hours 36, not the most ridiculously long one that we've ever had.
No.
2015 film. When I saw the cast, I can't remember
half of them being in it.
Out of the mentionable names, I can name 1 out of the 4.
Can you name one
on,
person that you couldn't remember was in it?
Yes.
Go on.
No, I don't want to do it. I think that would
Okay.
give it away. The prompts I've got are, it's set in the 1820s.
All right, that doesn't.
No, it doesn't
Help
help.
me.
No.
I then struggle with more clues. I could give you those people's, but I put Cold and Alone.
Is it like another westerny? Is it set in America
Yes.
in the
Oh.
1820s?
Is it DiCaprio in
It
it?
is DiCaprio.
Is it-
The people I couldn't remember is I could not remember Tom Hardy in it. I could not remember Will Poulter in it, and I could not remember Donald Gleeson.
Do you know what it is?
I don't think I've seen it.
Well, I would not recommend doing so.
Is it the one?
I massively disagree.
Is it the one he won the Oscar for?
The Revenant.
Yeah, I cannot get over this.
Dom's
I don't know if
upset.
I need
Dom,
to
Dom's upset.
I don't know if I need to rewatch it or what, but all I can remember is
Maybe watch it in 2 sittings.
Tell me if I'm wrong, Dominic, because you clearly know the film better than I do, because I will never rewatch it.
Go on.
They're in some sort of fur trading, and he ends up getting mauled by a bear. They leave him, and then it's basically him in the cold over and over again by himself, doing nothing.
He's revenging his son's death.
That's how you win an Oscar. Don't do anything on
The
screen
fur
for a
trading
long
is to
time.
keep the native Indians happy because they're taking over their land.
Yeah, but
From memory.
all I remember is he's in another ditch. It's freezing cold,
they use him 'cause-
and how does he stay alive? And then he feels a bit better, walks a little bit more. He's in another ditch, feeling cold, and I just thought, haven't I already watched this bit? I honestly got deja vu over and over again. Like, am I missing something? Is this for the scenery? Is this meant to be selling Alaska? I don't really get it.
So when did you watch it? No, I'm just going to ask that.
Oh, well,
When it came out.
post 2015.
No,
Did you
but my
watch it
point
at
being,
home or
Yeah.
at the cinema?
Yeah, I definitely didn't watch it at the cinema.
So I watched it probably, I'm going to say 18 months ago, and maybe that's why I thoroughly enjoyed
Oh, well,
it.
because
I don't
you've
know-
matured
No, I'm
to
just
a
saying
point
that
where I couldn't
if you-
understand it back in...
if you watched it 8 years or 7 years ago, it may be the fact that you may not remember it. But I
remember sitting there and thinking...
I remember the suspense. It was good. And it was like
I remember sitting there and thinking, this is the same thing that's happened over and over again. He's cold. There's no one here. He's alone. He's shivering in a fur coat.
There's a lot of backstabbing there and things like that. There's a lot of side stories of different people that he's met and how
then,
he has to go
and then
through.
I
them
do
to
remember, I might be wrong, there's some bit where he ends up finding someone and then he ends up running away and being in the cold again.
He does, but that is he does that, and if it's the bit I think it's about, he does it so he leads them away from the main camp, so he can kill them. Because if he's in the camp, he
3
can't kill them.
hours. How long was it? 2 hours.
3 hours 12.
No,
is it?
it's not. It's 2 hours 36.
Okay.
But I just, honestly, all I can remember is it's like one long scene of DiCaprio, either close up of his face, fur coat, he's cold, there's loads of, it's snowing, there's blowing over the top of him. He's in a ditch again. Oh, wait, we might have found civilization. Oh, we found civilization. Oh, no, he's in a ditch again.
So, so basically, you're saying that a number of these ditches just
He's
cut
got
off.
very bad luck because he gets himself to all sorts of situations.
I'm sorry, but everything you keep saying just confirms that my storyline is not too far off of it.
Right.
No, but I think just the element of suspense and the relationship he's got, and the whole point. Yeah, because you
Dom's
don't know
not
what's
going
going to happen.
with you. He's not going to
You
agree
don't know
with
what's
you.
going to happen.
I know.
And all he's doing is leading himself to get back to his
I
son.
don't
He
know
doesn't
how-
know whether he's alive or not.
I don't know how you can call it suspense when he's laying there cold again.
He's nearly dying. What do you
mean he's
I'm
lying
really
there
cold. He's not doing it on purpose.
I'm at the edge of my seats because if he did die, it would have finished early and I'd have been happy.
He's not literally gone. He's not gone. He's not gone.
Right.
Tired.
Should have
Just
died
saying,
earlier.
yeah.
There you go. There's your review.
I would have liked it if he got mauled by the bear, he tried to escape, in a ditch, died. Done.
The ending's good as well, though. Anyway, I can't agree to disagree.
I know
on
a
that
lot
one.
of people
Yeah,
would
we might have
disagree
to agree
with me.
to disagree
Yeah,
on that.
again. Matthew.
Number one.
My number one. Right. My number one is a film from this year. No, last year, 2023.
Okay.
It's 2 hours and 31 minutes long. It had 7 Oscar nominations last year.
Ooh.
It did not win any of them.
Okay.
I just remember, this was the one that came to my head when we found out the topic, because this is the one that I remember from the first 15 minutes of this film, checking my watch the entire time we're in the cinema. It's a semi-autobiographical film. Semi-autobiographical. So yeah, it's sort of
loosely based on a story.
Supposedly, it's only semi-dramatized, but
Dramatized.
is that the right word?
Dramatized.
Is that the right?
Dramatized.
I don't know. Whatever you said, it sounded
Drammable.
weird.
It's been drammered.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Let's get back to the film.
it stars Michelle Williams and Paul Dano, Seth Rogen again, Judd Hirsch, who
Is this where she's Marilyn?
no,
Okay.
she plays the main character's mum, and the main character is also the director of the film because it's his semi-autobiography.
This rings a bell, but I'm not sure I'm going to get it.
I don't know.
It's The Fabelmans, which is
Yeah.
the semi-autobiographical story of Steven Spielberg's life. Except
I do
all
remember.
it seemed to point out to me is that even people that are very interesting also have relatively dull lives in between the interesting bits.
That's not on my radar. I didn't even know that existed.
Don't bother.
I can remember the
Seriously.
trailer.
It was so slow. So slow, nothing happened, and it's supposed to be like a love letter to his parents, except I don't think he likes his mum. She does not come out of it very well. So, which is Michelle Williams' character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, the whole way through, I was like, "Oh my god, how much left?" I didn't know how much was left because I didn't know at what point during his life they were going to stop. Because it's not going to come all the
Because
way
he's
up
not
to
dead.
Well, he's not dead, but they're not going to film him filming it, are they? So I was thinking, how much of his life are we actually going to see here?
So what particular bit was too long?
No,
The
all
whole
of it. This is the thing. I could not tell you any. The bits that were interesting that they should have kept in was him discovering cinema and the things he did to become a director.
So-
The discovering a cinema.
So does it get to his big films?
No.
Oh.
No, we don't really make it until he's actually starting to make films. So it's pre him actually being a director, but he's doing things like home movies.
So the bits that most people would find exciting, big Steven Spielberg films,
It's
none
nothing.
of that.
It's nothing about his big Steven
Okay.
Spielberg films.
I was gonna say.
It's all about his dad didn't really want him to become a director or anything in film because he didn't think it was a good job.
Didn't think he'd make it.
No, that
not
kind
going to
of
make
thing.
enough money.
And then at the point where we recognise that he is just about to make it, that's when the film ends.
Okay.
But they should have started a lot earlier than that.
So do you think it's just
It's slow.
Spielberg paying an homage to himself
Yeah, a little bit. And I think that the
in
rest
an
of
arty way?
the rest of sort of Hollywood loved it because it's about films.
Do you think it's like pat on the back, Steven Spielberg, you made it, and this is what we've all gone through. This is
But he didn't go through anything particularly exciting.
I was going to say
okay.
that's not an interesting.
there's no
watch.
barriers to him becoming.
No, I mean, I only watched it this year, and I can't really pick out any things I remember other than the film bits, like
Okay.
how he made gunshots look good on an 8mm film, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So that's
Fair
my
enough.
number one because
Okay.
Dominic, add it to your list of things that you're never going to watch.
Yeah, I will.
yeah. If it's on in the background, don't just watch something else. Turn it over.
Well, there we go.
Dominic, I'd really like to guess what your number one is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you? You don't. I'm not putting any. No, just say what it is. We know what it is.
No, I'd like to know what prompts you have.
Yeah, go on. Make us guess.
I wonder if they're the same
Um,
as mine, weirdly.
I just went for factual, pretty much. No, I didn't go for quotes because I couldn't remember them. Oh no, watch out for that. No, second highest grossing film until 2009.
Yep.
When the
Right.
same director obviously took over.
Obviously.
Obviously, that's what
Won 11 Oscars.
Yep.
And set on a true historical tragical event.
So you and Jeremy have both chosen Titanic,
Correct.
and I get a bonus point for Dom because that was my film that I chose for you
Nice.
as well.
Do you know what's weird is I chose that for Matthew.
I chose that for you as well.
Did
I
you?
chose the same one for both of you this time.
I thought you, and I even put in bracket like me, like I thought you would be on the same wavelength as me on Titanic.
It is an honourable mention.
Yeah.
I've never been able to watch the whole way through.
Do you know
In
what
one go.
my one of my prompts is as well that really frustrates me. There's definitely enough room for 2 people on that plank.
Have you not seen the Mythbusters where they proved there wasn't?
Well, they asked Kate Winslet, didn't they, as well? And she was like, "Yeah, they would have both survived."
Yeah. I agree with you though. The biggest problem I have is I know what's going to happen.
Oh, that's exactly what I've put.
So and this is exactly like you said earlier. There's a romance story that's meant to make me more invested in the fact that this thing crashes, and yet that's the bit of the story I really don't care about.
Well, you know that's going to happen. Though.
Well,
yeah.
I need 15, 20 minutes before it crashes, and then show me how it crashed.
Yeah.
It's not aimed at you, is it?
No.
It's not aimed at us.
I'm
in agreement with you.
I want to watch the documentary version.
I also don't need Rose when she's 80 something or 90 telling me, "Oh yeah, this is I'm missing him," and it's like, just get to the story.
Actually, do you know, they could have absolutely just not had that part of the film.
Oh, absolutely.
I've got this necklace or whatever.
I just think the whole love bit is a bit weird.
Yeah,
because I'm not even sure do we know that any of that's
away
true?
From the
I don't think it's
story.
true.
No, that bit's not true. Surely not.
So, well, no, I know you say surely, but I bet there was somebody called Rose and somebody called Jack in the list of people that were on
Probably,
that.
yeah.
I bet they didn't know each other though.
No,
but doesn't he get in on a weird way? I can't even.
He won it. He won it in a bet.
Yeah, something like
He
that.
won the ticket in a bet.
oh, okay.
See, that sounds more interesting, but I don't really remember
Yeah.
it.
That's the only bit I do remember.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what happens. And also everyone misquotes the bit where they stand at the front of the boat. Because he says, "I'm king of the world."
Mm.
And people do that when they're together. That didn't happen when they were together. That happens when it's just him on his
Oh,
own.
Mandela effect coming
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so people that like the film or know that bit actually don't know the film. They just have remembered it from other clips of things that people have put together.
I tell you what, I'm going to make a link to Extra here. I've just watched the boat version on the US Office where he talks.
Oh my god, I love that.
He makes a quote. He goes, "I give him 5 minutes before he does it in the front of the boat." Anyway, so if you're not listening to Extra, that's something we discussed on that. I don't think anyone's disagreeing on that one, are they?
No,
I'm not disagreeing. It's too long. It's too long.
Yeah.
Summarise. No romance in my films, please.
Pointless romance. No
Pointless romance.
Is romance pointless to you?
No, obviously not.
No.
Okay.
In films.
Yes.
Right.
So that's our lists. I don't want long-winded. I want honourable mentions that we haven't brought up, because I have to say that I think a lot of things that you came up we've kind of talked about. The only ones I didn't have was I didn't realise Green Mile was as long as it is.
No, I
didn't either.
I saw that and I thought I'd still watch
like
that
that
again.
film.
Yeah, King Kong, the Peter Jackson version, didn't realise that was that long, but I wouldn't watch it ever again, so
me neither.
that's fine. I put Avengers Endgame in there, but I actually realised that the reason I think that's too long is because, spoiler alert, Captain Marvel comes, and if she'd have come 5 minutes into the film, it would all have been over. So what's the point of the whole film?
We needed another film.
Oh, that lasts that long. And then I put like Avatar Way of the Water, but it's my wife Katie's fault because she let me watch that in 2 parts. She made me watch it in 2 parts. So I didn't realise that was 3 hours because I watched it in 2 parts.
I think you've just found a little hack for watching films that are over 3 hours.
But I feel like
2 bits.
I feel like if it's 3 hours, how am I not watching it over 3 nights sometimes with her? But there we go. Yeah. Any others?
I had any of the Transformer films, but that comes back to the action and the crashing, bashing.
The way Michael Bay makes it, I agree.
I think those bits are just too long and don't like them too
yeah.
much. I also had This Is 40, which is actually really long.
It.
It's a Judd Apatow film.
Yeah, I know who's in it. Paul Rudd and
and I do remember thinking it's good, but I do think it's a bit long.
Okay.
And I couldn't tell you exactly why. And then my last one, I think, is a fault of when I watched it at cinema, but I've got Blade Runner 2049.
I nearly put that.
It is so slow.
So slow.
It is so slow, and I wonder if it's just too slow for my liking. But again, loads of people love it.
Yeah, I think some people as well, from what I remember, people are like, Harrison Ford hasn't even turned up yet, and it's too much time has gone.
About an hour. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Dominic?
So for me, more recent one that I've watched as well, I put Oppenheimer on because for the first 15 and the last 15 minutes, I don't know the context of what's happening when he's sat there being questioned left, right and centre, and that didn't add to the storyline to me at all.
I have still not seen this yet. So
yeah.
See, I enjoyed it. It is long. I will admit it's long, but I not enjoyed the length.
Okay.
Yeah. Braveheart. I remember that being very long.
Yeah.
When we were younger. and then American Gangster.
Okay.
But that's all I put. Yeah.
So I thought I was playing a fun game on the bonuses for Dominic because I thought you picked The Irishman because I thought you were going to say it's a long film and I accept that, but I still like it because it's a top 5.
Yeah.
And Matthew, I went for Titanic for you, so no bonuses for me.
I had Titanic for Dom, and I thought you'd go Robin Hood, the Disney version, where we used to fast forward through the Maid Marian song as well.
It's not, it doesn't, yeah, my brain doesn't think 3 minutes is too much.
I struggled to come up with films that I thought you thought would be too long.
Yeah, I struggled with that. And Dominic?
I put Titanic for both of you because I thought we'd all dislike
Sneaky.
it.
That is quite sneaky.
That is quite clever, though, at the same time. So you get a point. Yeah.
You get a point for you, yeah.
Okay, so summary of each top 5.
Jamie, you're
Me
first.
to go first. So number 5, I had Justice League. Number 4, I had The Lion King, the live adaptation. Then number 3, I had The Alamo. Can I just be clear? The 2004 version. Number 2 was Titanic, and number 1 was The Revenant.
My top 5. Number 5 was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The song was too long. Number 4 was Man of Steel. Number 3 is Return of the King, the third of the Lord of the Rings films. Number 2 is The Sound of Music, and number 1 was The Fabelmans.
And for mine, number 5 was Killers of the Flower Moon. Number 4 was Watchmen. Number 3 was Lucy. Number 2 was Gangs of New York. And number 1 was Titanic.
So clearly we have argued lots today because I think this is our longest podcast to date. So thank you very much if you've got this far and you've listened to us have a go at each other, especially as we got towards the end there. But just a quick reminder, we would like you to get in contact to tell us whether we're right, wrong, whether I win the top 5 again because I picked the best films that were too long. I don't know why you're laughing. Everyone always agrees with me. I haven't had anything to the contrary. And...
I think Dom and I have both given you something to the contrary, but there we go.
Okay. But remember that we want to hear from you, the listeners, so we want you to follow, subscribe, rate and review on whatever platform you get us on. And remember our social media at Top 5 Films That. So get in touch with us and tell us everything we need to know.
Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what's wrong.
Dominic, what are you doing wrong?
Nothing, in my mind.
Okay. Well, we all know that's not true, so let's leave it there. Bye from me.
Bye-bye.
And bye from me.